All right, so in this video, I'm going to discuss some very exciting things. I'm going to discuss a $100 passport. This is no clickbait. This is no gimmick. I'm going to actually discuss a very legal, legit passport program that could have gotten you a passport for 100 US dollars, no donations, and investment of $100 and a real passport. That towards the end. The second topic that I'm going to cover is how the South African passport stacks up in Elon Musk's passport portfolio. Now, for those who aren't aware, he has three citizenships, three nationalities. Two of them are very Western-centric nationalities, which is the US and Canada, almost similar access. So let's say in future, let's just say he wants to renounce his US citizenship. He has that equal, solid, strong backup, the Canadian citizenship and passport, which gets him almost the same access. Now, I personally don't think he will ever renounce his US citizenship. I don't even think he should ever even think of renouncing the US citizenship. But nonetheless, he has a nice duplication in place, which gets him all the access that he would ever want from a Western passport. On the other hand, he has South Africa. Now, South Africa, when you combine this with Western access, it is an absolute tank. I'm going to discuss why and what advantages the South African adds to the mix. But before I get started, if you're new, my name is Jay, and here we discuss investments that lead to residencies, citizenships, and a whole lot more. So make sure you turn on that bell notification and subscribe right now so you don't miss out on any of the latest and greatest opportunities within the RCBI. All right, let's start off with South Africa. Now, why is it a tank? What makes South African passport so unique? So let me quickly touch upon some of the big advantages or highlights of the South African passport. So what does it get you? It gets you visa-free access to Ireland, Israel, Uruguay, which is quite an interesting combination right there. It gets you access to the Asias, all the residencies, the hot residencies that truly matter. For example, it gets you Thailand, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia. Most of the people wouldn't look beyond those residencies, so it gets you all of that. It gets you Russia and Qatar. Your Western passports will never get you into some of these places, right? So when you talk about Elon Musk's portfolio, he does have all the Western solid access that his Western passports get him. But with this South African passport, now he has future access to some areas which otherwise he wouldn't have. So Russia and the Gulf, Qatar, a very interesting entry into the Gulf it gets you. It also gets you most of Latin America, all the ones that matter, right? So it gets you Chile, Paraguay, Peru, Panama, Nicaragua, Ecuador, and the list keeps going on. So it really gets you some very, very, very important access. You can set up residencies in all these Latin countries. It also gets you access to Philippines, which is very interesting, very unique. A lot of countries don't have direct access to Philippines. The huge advantage towards the end of the South African passport is that it gets you access straight into Mauritius. Now, this is important because you could easily set up a residency in Mauritius. It's a very rich, safe, exotic location, a country. You can qualify for the Mauritian permanent residency for as low as $1,000 US. And yes, you heard that right. A lot of marketers and marketing agencies would sell you the 375K or just talk about or bring up the 375K in property investment option. But there are two other great options where you can get the Mauritian residency in approximately $1,000 in government fees and some lawyer charges. Now, if you have missed my coverage on Mauritius, the options, the details, you can always return and check this links. This talks about the entire Mauritian option in great detail. The passport is one of the most exotic passports any African country can get you. Now, let's come back to South Africa. South Africa is very, very cheap. It's a golden visa, or take that back. It's not a golden visa. Let's not taint it by calling it golden. It's a solid, pure, permanent residency. A lot of the golden visas are in the spotlight. They have been subjected to heavy crackdown. by the Western governments. The Western governments, especially the EU, has already exerted a lot of pressure and terminated most of the golden visas. A lot of the CBI passport schemes, the ones who directly sold their passports, Cyprus, Malta, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, Montenegro, all those programs have been immediately closed, right? So if you have missed my coverage on the entire crackdown, including the US's crackdown on some of the Caribbean options, they have pressurized the Caribbean countries into now have auditing in place so they can uncover a lot of stuff like Cyprus. Cyprus terminated 200 CBI passports. So if you've missed that crackdown coverage, very interesting, very, very important for someone within the RCBI to understand what's going on. So you can return and check this video. This talks about the entire crackdown from start to finish. There's also some tracking mechanism for existing people. Let's say you are possessing one of these passports. You are interested in knowing if your passport is being tracked. What is the mechanism by different agencies in place to track CBI passports? If you have missed that coverage, you can always return and check this video. This talks about the entire tracking that's put in place by different entities, agencies currently, and also in the future. All right, so focusing back on the South African option, 6,800 US dollars can actually get you the permanent residency in South Africa. Very modest net worth requirements, of course, but once you get this permanent residency, it's a flexible permanent residency. A lot of my viewers, subscribers are very interested in flexible options, which gives them some breathing space, some room when they're looking for plan Bs and residency. So it is a flexible residency, which then can lead to your all important South African citizenship, the South African passport, which gets you a lot of advantages. Now, there are a lot of concerns. It's not a safe country. It's not safe for a certain type of people. It's not safe for the whites, etc. All that is BS. A lot of people, because it's so cheap, because it's so attractive, a lot of people actually might be getting jealous of the country. They talk all BS. Yes, you have crap going on in every single country. Which country does not have problems? But if you use common sense, if you take the necessary precautions, you should be fine in South Africa. And if you have missed my coverage to this effect, always return and check this video. This talks about the overall safety situation in South Africa and my perspective. Now, the South Africa Mauritius is a very interesting combination, right? So you could actually have a South African nationality, which gives you direct access to Mauritius. So from a nationality perspective, you're covered because you have a tank of a passport. And then for the residency, you can always look at safer options like the Mauritian permanent residency. So if you qualify, you can have your residency in Mauritius, you can have your nationality, a South African nationality, which is very strong in my opinion. Now let's jump to the $100 citizenship. As I promised, this is no clickbait. This is a genuine citizenship. You could have qualified this for this citizenship for as low as $100, and this is the citizenship of CAR, another African country, the Central African Republic. They came up with a very, very interesting program where you invested $60,000 in your own cryptocurrency, which could get you the CAR citizenship. So no donation. It's not a pay for passport scheme. It was a straight investment in your own cryptocurrency. The country believes in cryptocurrency, and then you could have qualified for the citizenship. Now, there were some legal hurdles because of which it has been postponed. And if you are interested, if you're subscribed, you will be the first one to know the moment there's any movement on that front. But they had a very interesting start with a bang where they introduced a contest where if you invested $100 in Sango coin, what is $100? It's nothing, and you're not donating. You're investing this in Sango coin, which is their cryptocurrency. And upon draw, 20 people, 10 to 20 people actually got awarded nationalities for investing those $100. Now, a lot of people, obviously, a lot of people missed out on this opportunity, and that is very important. That is the reason why I always stress, be subscribed and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any such opportunities in future. These are very interesting opportunities one should always be aware of. Now, for all the winners from that $100 contest, they have been awarded $80,000 worth of Sango coin, which can then be converted into the citizenship once they start issuing the actual passports and citizenships. And a lot of people will say, who takes the car passport? Well, if you really understand what Plan Bs truly mean, the car passport, although might be one of the weakest passports out there, it's very unique, and there's some very subtle advantages of a nationality. It doesn't matter whether it's strong or weak. You can always tag on residency permits. You can obtain other nationalities, or you already have some nationality to begin with. So you have the access. You get some very, very unique advantages with certain very exotic nationalities that you can get. You don't necessarily always have to live there full time. There's a lot of flexibility if you're smart, and a lot of my regular viewers and subscribers exactly know what I'm talking about. Well, I hope you liked this coverage. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.